Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Sim's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Fat Trans Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. This is a novel, I have to say, really did impact me emotionally as a reader because it's about fat phobia. It follows Charlie Vega. She's in high school. She is, and she calls herself this, she is fat, and she owns it. I think that that's really great that she is owning a word that is used as an insult. I think that's a great thing for the storytelling because I personally found it empowering. Because I'm really against fat phobia. The term plus size model pisses me off, and I'm 135 pounds. You would think, oh, what do I care? I care because they're human beings. Why do you have to put a staple? Like, why do you have to put that label there? They're models. A model is someone who models something. What does it matter? They're all models. Let's get rid of that stigma. Fashion industry, and I think that that's something that's really wrong with our society, that there's a stigma against being overweight. Being overweight doesn't necessarily mean you're unhealthy. Yes, long term, being overweight can cause some detriment to your health, but so can being super skinny. You have to find the weight that's perfect for you. And it's all about how you feel. Do you feel good inside? And that's the journey that Charlie Vega is on in this novel. She has to fight against fat phobia with her own mother. There's a lot of tension between her and her mother. Honestly, I hated her mother, to be perfectly honest with you. Her mother just doesn't do anything other than put her down. Her mother, I guess, used to be overweight, and now she's skinny. She's like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm skinny." I'm not even exaggerating. She throws a birthday party for her daughter and invites her friends and gets drunk. I'm having a deja vu moment of my own life. So she does, that's a perfect scene, and that just highlights the toxicity of fat phobia. It's definitely put up this wall between mother and daughter because her mother just doesn't understand, like, how can you be happy the way you look? Because she is. And as a mother, you should be. I understand her mother, She worries about her. She just wants what's best for her. But she's going about it the entirely wrong way. And I really liked it because it was realistic. It was a really realistic representation of how fat phobia is detrimental to a relationship. Because, her mother is shit. There, I said it. Her mother is not the good, that's the shit. Her mother is the shit. She just makes her daughter feel unloved, and she makes her daughter feel ugly. And I hated that, but it was realistic. We all can't have a perfect foundation for a mother-daughter relationship, especially because her mother has a lot of issues with her own weight, and she's trying to imprint her insecurities onto her daughter instead of just having a conversation with her daughter. I think if they had had a conversation earlier in the novel, they do have the conversation eventually. And let me tell you, Charlie puts her mother in her place. I was like, yay, go Charlie. You put your mother in her place. Yeah, I totally got her grounded. But I was like, bravo. Bravo to you. You stand up for yourself, Charlie Vega. I was here for that. Definitely one of my favorite moments of the book. Really hope my kids never talk to me that way, though, when they grow up. I'm sure it's gonna happen. I was an angsty teenager, so we'll see. But it's just the whole fat phobia thing. She has to take ownership of, the mother. She has to take ownership of her insecurities instead of trying to imprint them on her daughter. And Charlie takes ownership of her own insecurities eventually. She is kind of like pushing them down throughout the novel, and they're kind of like slowly building up and building up until she just blows. And when she blows, she finally does air it all out. She's like, look, this is how I feel, but I like how I look. And I think it's great, all of the insecurities, she just airs them out. She just gets them off her chest. And I found that to be a really great moment in the story when she does. Because, I read this novel at a pretty great time. Or bad time, if you want to look at it that way. I, gave birth to my son. I hadn't lost all the baby weight yet when quarantine hit. And then when quarantine hit, I was out of work for 4 months. So what did I do? I sat on my ass all day at my computer. And I gained about 10 pounds. So I was at like 135, and then I went to 145. I wasn't fitting into my clothes. I was pretty much hating how I looked in the mirror. I still get those days. This is not the original outfit I chose for this video. I still have those moments where I kind of hate how I look. But you know what? In the long run, at the end of the day, I love how I look. If that makes sense. And I think I kind of owe it to this novel because I was so depressed, and I was just like really angry about not being able to fit in my clothes. And obesity does have a tendency to run in my family. So, my mom's like super skinny, like always been skinny, still fits in her high school clothes from the 80s. So, it was just a lot for me. She just snapped back after she had me, and then here I am with my baby weight still. So it's all about what you need to do to like love yourself. What did I start doing? I read this book, first of all, and it was great to read this book at that moment in my life because it really did empower me to just sort of love how I look and not be so depressed. Like, what? Everyone gains weight. Not everyone can be my mom. Not everyone can be Miss Perfect. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you. Don't worry. But I think it's, a lot of society and their depiction of what it means to be beautiful. So it's just, it had a really emotional impact for me personally to read this novel because it gave me the strength to really love myself and to really think about, what I want to do. Do I want to work out? Yeah, I started working out, started drinking more water, stopped drinking Angry Orchards every single night. So it was just about like, yeah, I love my body, but I do want to be slightly thinner. Just about 10 more pounds, that's it. Just want to get back to my pre-baby weight. Just want to fit my clothes. So it empowered me, is what I'm trying to say. It gave me the strength to love my body and respect my body the way Charlie Vega does. She takes ownership of her body, and she takes ownership, and she tells everyone, go screw yourself. Not in that way. She does have to fight her insecurities a lot. She does have to have that confrontation with her mother. She does have to have the outburst with her BFF, who's Miss Perfect, like my mom. So it's a lot that she has to do. She has to just let everything go. And I found that to be a very empowering moment because I think Charlie herself honestly, Crystal, you did an amazing job with this characterization. I completely loved her. I connected to her so much because she's a writer. What am I? I went to Emerson to study creative writing. Um, I am an aspiring writer myself. Not that I've had time, but I am an aspiring writer myself. So I really connected deeply to the character. She was snarky, she's smart, she is clever, she's creative, she's pretty much everything I want to be in life. And she finds that strength to overcome her insecurities and really love her body. And that's what this novel at its core is about. It's about fighting fat phobia. It's about loving your body and who you are, despite what everyone in society says you should look like. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We're not all going to fit into a box. And I hate that. I hate that society is just like, no, you have to look this way. Society wants to put us into a box. I am against that. Do not let anyone put you in a box. Charlie, she sure didn't. And I thought that was great. You know, I think that is the message I got from this book. To just love yourself and to fight this idea of being put in a box. And I have to say, you know what? I love this novel. I really did. I'm so happy that I received an ARC from a publisher for this novel. I'm really impressed as well that this is a debut, because it doesn't feel like a debut either. I mean, I've read books lately, I'm just like, oh, this is what? Poorly written, and you know, the writers have been writing for a while, and I'm like, no, not feeling it. This is a debut, and it's fresh, and it's wonderful, it's brilliantly written, and it's brilliantly paced, and the characterization is top-notch, and it has a really emotional connection to any reader, I think. You know, it doesn't matter how you look. But if you are trying to fight insecurities, or if you know someone who's trying to fight insecurities, I think that this is a novel that is empowering to everyone. So on that note, you know, I'm going to go ahead and give Fat Chance Charlie Vega 5 stars because it was so good and because I really loved it. So I highly recommend this book. Please purchase it off of bookshop.org. Please purchase it. Please support the author by leaving reviews. Please support the author and bookstores by purchasing it at local booksellers, not just Amazon. Please try to avoid Amazon. If money's tight, I get it. Remember, 4 months, no job. Please check out the book from your local library. Once again, it's definitely well worth the read. I thought it was empowering and energetic and honestly top-notch. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me by liking this channel and subscribing to it. And please do not forget to share this with all your book-loving friends. Happy reading, everyone.